Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're working on the head of the dragon. When this thing is finished, it's going to sit nearly 50 feet in the air, and it's going to shoot 20-foot flames right out of its jaws. In this video, you're going to see me construct the head partially, and I'm going to show you how to use hand tools to tuck a piece of sheet metal, and then refine the shape with a plenishing hammer. It's how I create all these pieces for the head, so we get a nice, tight fit on every panel. First, what you see here is the wireframe made from round bar. I don't use any CAD or computers. I just have a photo I created with AI, my imagination, and my hands. The yellow paper you see is what Michelle's been creating. Those are our templates. We use those templates to cut pieces of sheet metal to match, so we can start skinning the head. Right now, I'm deep in the skinning process around the eye socket. Because this area is so rich with contours, I can't just roll it and go. It's a complex 3D puzzle. I'm spending a lot of time with hand tools, just using trial and error to force the steel to match the vision in my head. It's a battle for every inch, but looking back, in behind me, you can see Michelle is prepping templates for the tail too. We have to keep that momentum alive. If I get stuck on the details, the deadline catches up to us. It's just piece by piece, shaping, grinding, and welding until it's done. People see the finished dragon and they see magic. I don't see magic. I see fit up. I see grind marks. I see the fight. You start with cold, flat metal, and you have to wrestle life into it.
I think I need more heat.
More heat! More heat! At this scale, you can't just bully the steel. It's tricky business. We're building the skeletal structure, the jaw, but I'm also trying to visualize the facial expression, the movement in the jaw before it's even welded. It has to look like it's fierce and on the attack, ready to unleash hellfire.
Hammer, baby. Why do you have it? Why do you have it?
When the hood drops, the rest of the shop disappears. It's just me, the puddle, and the heat. You're watching that molten pool, making sure you get the penetration right. If you don't respect the heat, the metal warps. It fights back. Creating the face, that's the critical moment here. The eye sockets, the snarl. That's where the personality lives. You're not just sticking metal together, you're deciding if this thing is going to be angry or wise or hungry. This one is going to be angry and hungry, I think.
That's going to be interesting.
What?
They're trying to close that gap up. I got to try to squeeze that down. I need that rubber hammer.
Yeah, it looks good.
Once you get some nostrils, it'll look good.
This is a puzzle without a box cover.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yep. So I'll work on these tomorrow.
I'm constantly checking angles. Sometimes the steel doesn't want to go where I want it. I have to persuade it, clamp it, heat it, force it into submission until that gap closes. The skin isn't just armor, it's muscle. It has to flow. To get those compound curves out of flat sheet metal, I have to manipulate the grain. I have to know when to stretch it and when to shrink it. Climbing around working on this thing can be exhausting too. Just reaching all the spots I need to work on is a challenge in itself. Now, if you want to see how I shape these pieces using hand tools to perform a tuck, and then a plenishing hammer to refine that shape, watch this next part.
Now, this is called a, like when you're doing this, these are tucks. So what happens is I'm stretching the middle, but when you do tucks, a tuck is this. I'll show you. This is a tuck. Okay. So that's a tuck. If I get an angle here, I'll show you. Speed it a bit more. Now, that's a tuck. If I start here and hammer it out, it'll actually pull that together and lock it in. If I was to hammer here, I'd stretch it out. But if I was to hammer here and go this way, that metal has now shortened. And by hammering it back here, it actually pulls this and tightens it up. And that's actually a method of shrinking. So you're shrinking the outside and pulling the edges down. But I don't want to do too much shrinking. I just want to stretch in the middle. So I'll come along and flatten those out, because I don't want to do too much shrinking. If I hammer those out the wrong way, it'll curl the sides over and it'll shrink the sides in. It'll stretch the outside out, but I don't want to shrink the sides in because it'll change the shape of it too much. So I want to keep it. It's a lot of what we were teaching this weekend was how to tuck shrink.
The plenishing hammer smooths out the violence of the tucks. We're ironing out the wrinkles, hardening the material, turning that rough shape into a smooth piece for the dragon's head. After the hand hammering, the metal looks rough, like a raisin. That's where the plenishing hammer comes in. I'm running this piece through the radius die to smooth out those deep tucks I just put in by hand. This isn't just about making it pretty, it's about work hardening. By hitting the steel thousands of times with light pressure, I'm compressing the grain structure. This takes the stress out of the metal and locks that curve into its memory. To do it correctly, you have to be patient. You have to keep the panel moving constantly. If you stop and dwell in one spot, you'll thin the metal out, stretch it, and ruin the fit-up we just fought for. Now, the moment of truth, the fit up. If I did the math right, if I shrunk the metal correctly, it should nestle right in. Using the clamps, I lock it down, but I don't weld it until it's sitting perfectly. Stitch it up, grind it smooth. It takes thousands of hours, sparks and sweat to complete this dragon. Now we move to the final fusion. We verified the fit and the tacks are holding, but I have to be careful here. I'm stitching these seams using TIG. It's slower than MIG, but it gives me the precise control I need to tie these skins together without ruining the shape. The biggest mistake you can make at this stage is impatience. You never ever just run a continuous bead from one end to the other on sheet metal this thin. If you do that, the heat expansion will warp this entire skull. The metal expands when it's molten and shrinks violently when it cools. So I'm using a technique called skip welding. I lay down an inch of bead and I stop. I move 6 inches away, lay down another inch, and move again. I'm constantly dancing around the head, distributing that heat so no single area gets heat soaked. It's It's a patience game. You have to let the metal breathe. I'm also making sure to leave the weld bead just a little bit proud, meaning it sits slightly higher than the surface. If the weld is concave or undercut, I'll have a divot when I try to finish it. I need that extra material there so that when we come back with the grinder and the sander, we can take it down perfectly flush. Hey, thanks for watching this episode, guys. Keep tuning in as the progress on Golspar, my latest dragon, continues. And subscribe now so you don't miss its first fire-breathing breaths.